What's going on? Happy Sunday morning. So let's talk about the WNBA, right? So two former NBA basketball players announced that they will be eligible for the draft, the WNBA draft. And so we knew this was coming, right? And I'm so excited for it because you know, there's so many people that that say that men can be women and there's no difference, right? And so, and we have to be all inclusive, that whole thing, right? and so and uh and I know a while back I was always saying, man, I can't wait till some dude just throws a wig on and say, "Hey, I'm one of the girls. Let me play with y'all too," and then get into the WNBA, right? and so now, and here we are. It's just so genius. If I was 6'8" or 260 pounds, right? I'm gonna say I'm gonna put a wig on and say I want to play with the girls too, right? I'm gonna be Jordan in that league. and so these two guys. I think one of them is like 6'8", 265 pounds, all dude, right? And so he's gonna go into the league, and they can't refuse him, of course, right? Because men can be women, right? And so I can't think of the guys' names off the top, but two of them have announced that they will be eligible for the WNBA draft. And now I cannot wait to see these guys go in there and start dunking on these girls, putting 60, 70 points. Just dominating. And it's so funny because you got, there are many within that league, they're Democrats, of course, and they're like, oh, yes, we should let these these men, girls, these girly men or whatever, I don't know, play because we're all inclusive and that whole narrative, right? and so be careful what you ask for, and I can't wait for these same ones when they start being dunked on and blocked out and just being dominated. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll see how their tune changes. And I'm being comical about it because I honestly cannot wait for these guys to get in there and just start just dunking. That's what I want to see. They just gonna be clowning these girls, right? and so I'll definitely be watching for the entertainment. But but on a more serious note, it's a shame that we live in such a backwards, perverse society that this is even a thing. You know what I'm saying? And my heart really goes out to the real girls, right? Who put in the work, the time, and the practice. You know what I'm saying, to be great at their craft. You know what I'm saying? And then some dude, all he got to do is just put a wig on and come in there and just take everything away from them that they fought hard and earned for. So my heart goes out for those girls who aren't okay with men playing in women's sports, right? And it's I mean, just to even say that out loud is ridiculous. You don't see it the other way. You don't see women cutting off their breasts and shaving their heads and say they want to go play in the NBA, right? Because that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's always the guys out here who can't really achieve any level of success playing with the boys, right? They just they're not fast enough, big enough, or strong enough. They lack the skills to really shine in an all male league, and so they're taking advantage of this loophole, right, in this backwards, perverse society that we live in now. And they'll say, okay, well, I'll just say I'm a girl and go play with the girls and dominate. I mean, it's genius. They're just taking advantage of people's sickness. And so I can't really fault the guys for doing it. It just makes sense to me. If I was 6'8", 260 pounds, I'm gonna throw a wig on too and go in there and start dunking on these girls. You know what I'm saying? Be all bad, be leading everything, you know. But that I'm just being silly about all that. It's a shame, you know. Like I said, my heart goes out to the girls who sincerely play and work hard to be good at what they do, you know. And then now the WNBA, you know, because they're woke, you know, they're really about to just tear that league up. And I knew it was coming, you know. And we see what's going on, you know. And so, you know, and then once it starts, you know, more guys are gonna start throwing on wigs and painting their nails and say they're girls too, you know. So and and it's a shame, man. You know, my heart breaks for those girls who will no longer be able to stand out, you know, for their hard work and effort, right? And all it's gonna take is these guys to come in there and just start taking over that league, right? And of course start making all the money, because who don't want to see a 6'8" man start dunking on these girls? It's gonna be hilarious. And but yeah, it's so crazy that we live in a time like today where this is even a conversation, you know, and it's funny because you know, with feminism and all that, you know, you would think more women will be the loudest against this. You know what I'm saying? And but you know, surprisingly, it seems like it's really the women who are calling for it, you know. And it's like, well, okay, well, be careful what you ask for. You know, we see how these guys, these dudes, you know, when they play volleyball in every sport, you know, track and field, volleyball, everything. Whenever a guy throws a wig on and paints his nails and go out and start playing with the girls, he dominates, you know. And and I don't know whatever happened with follow the science. You know, there's biological differences between men and women. Those are facts. You know what I'm saying? That's how God created us. You know, women have their roles and position to play in this world, in this life as women, right? Only women could do, you know, and men have theirs, you know. But you know, we live in such an upside down, backwards, perverse society, you know, and this is the fruit of that, right? And so, you know, on one hand, I can't wait. I really can't, because it's gonna be hilarious. And then on the other hand, my heart breaks for those girls who will see their hard work and achievements overshadowed by these dudes, right? And that's the heartbreak of it all. And it's a shame that we're going down that path, and it only seems to be increasing. You know, and it's just, you know, I'm gonna try to keep it. You know, I as a Christian, I know that this is a spiritual thing, all that, right? And but I'm not trying to go into that on here. I know not everybody is a believer in Christ, you know. But for us who are, you know, we see these things as spiritual, you know, and we know that in this world, this fallen world, that the devil, right, he wants to destroy everything that God created, you know. So it's an upside down society, you know, and we're seeing the fruit of that, right? And so I just want to sit there and say that, um, yeah, and so where does it go from here, right? We already see men boxing women, you know, hurting them, you know, um, everything, man, and it's just so ridiculous, you know. I know if I had a daughter and she had any interest in sports, I would absolutely stop her, because there's no way I could send my daughter out into a competitive event and she's having to compete with the boys. You know, I would just be setting her up for failure and possible injury. You know, and here we are. You know, and how women are allowing this is just beyond me. You know, you would assume that women would be the loudest voice in the room against this. You know, they should have their own sports where they can shine and work hard and achieve for their efforts, right? And you know, without having a dude come in there and overshadow that, right? And it's not about being better because you know, I know women who are great basketball players, right? You know, and can even compete at certain levels with the fellas, you know. But when you start talking about professional sports, come on, man. It's not even close, you know. The guys are too tall, too fast, too strong, you know, for these girls. For most of them, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's maybe one or two in that league that can, you know, sit there and try to box out a 6'8", 260 pound man, right? But you know, that's not the majority of the girls who play in that league, you know, and you know, and they're just going to be putting themselves in potential, you know, risk of being hurt, right? And so it's a shame, and I know there's this argument is being made within that league about this. You know, there's some, of course, who are for it. Oh yeah, I think uh these men, girls, or girly men should absolutely play because we're all inclusive and every yeah, you know, there's that, and then there's the other girls with common sense who like, no, we should not be letting these guys come in here because it's you know it's over at that point, right? So here we are, and never in my life would I have thought that you know we'd be having this conversation, but here we are. So I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit me with a subscribe, a like, and a comment. I welcome it all. Until next time.